I asked 100 music producers what the best business advice is, and almost all of them said you need to build multiple income streams. Then I asked the same 100 producers what their biggest struggle was, and almost all of them said that they feel lost, overworked, and don't know what to focus on. And I found that very interesting. Could it be that the most popular advice you hear is actually hurting your career? Well, so far I've built 3 successful music companies, and I've learned that trying to build income streams the wrong way will 100% keep you stuck. But when you do it right, that's when you start making serious money. So in this video, I'll break down why I quit chasing multiple income streams early in my career, the biggest mistake music producers make when trying to diversify, and the 3 best strategies for building multiple income streams the right way without spreading yourself too thin. Let me start by showing you the one thing that made me realize early on that building multiple income streams might not always be the best approach. So when I was getting started, I was told that the only way to survive in the music business was to have multiple income streams. Basically, make a little bit from a lot of different sources, and it will all add up to a livable wage. I listened to that advice, and this is what I thought was going to happen. Take a look at these 2 stacks of money. Each one represents a different income stream early on in my career. What I thought would happen is that as I put energy into both income streams, both stacks of money would grow and my overall income would increase. That sounds great, right? Who wouldn't want to have 2 stacks of money that are always growing? But that is not what happened. In reality, I would put a little bit more energy into one income stream so that it would grow, and it did. However, that meant I had less energy to invest into the other income stream, so it would shrink. And at the end of the day, I realized that I was actually just moving money from one pile to another, but it wasn't increasing my overall income. And because I was split between 2 things, it exhausted my energy faster, and I ended up feeling more lost than I did when I started. But that wasn't even the worst part. It actually completely messed up the way that I thought about making money in music. And if I hadn't fixed this mindset early on, I definitely would not be where I'm at today. I used to think that if you had to have multiple income streams just to survive, then by definition, that must mean that no single income stream was stable enough on its own to make a living as a producer. And this mindset is exactly what causes many producers to make the biggest and most common mistake when trying to build multiple income streams. And I'll show you what it is. Last year, I was talking to one of my coaching clients who runs a studio. Now, this studio is already a functional business, and it's the main source of income for this producer. It's also important to mention that this producer has a family to support. He's not a young guy with no responsibilities, so there's a little room for error. Now, our first goal was just to grow the studio because 1, it was already working, and 2, there were a few basic things that we could do that would automatically increase the studio's profits and make getting new clients more predictable. And a few months into the process, we jumped on to a one-to-one call so that I could take a look at his metrics and ensure that he was making progress. But I immediately noticed that something was off because very little progress had been made. So I asked him, "How are you spending your time right now? And I need you to be 100% honest with me." And he said, "Well, I am doing some of the things that you told me to do, but I've also been spending a lot of time with my studio partner producing beats so that we can set up an online store." And then I hit him with my favorite question. Why? He said he was doing it because he wanted to supplement the income that the studio wasn't making. Now, this is no shade to him. This is actually a great teaching moment, but let me ask all of you watching this a question. If a producer doesn't yet have the business skills to make one income stream work, then what are the chances that they are going to all of a sudden have the business skills to make 2 income streams work at the same time? Probably not that likely. If you have a boat with holes in it, just patch the holes. The biggest mistake producers make when it comes to building multiple income streams is that they try to launch a second income stream to fix all the problems with their first income stream. And unless you get really lucky, this almost never works because this has much less to do with the specific income streams and much more to do with the producer who is building them and how they operate. So now that you know what not to do, let's talk about what does work. Because this video isn't about avoiding multiple income streams. In fact, having multiple income streams should be your ultimate goal, but the key is doing it the right way. So here are 3 strategies I've seen work best. And if you use them, it'll make your life a whole lot easier. When I was running my music production company, our main source of income came from working directly with clients, basically getting hired to produce songs. We wanted to add a second income stream, something a bit more passive, and we decided to sell drum sample packs. But my fear was that this would split our focus and risk both businesses struggling. So we decided to explore a different approach. What we did was take some of the profits from our first income stream, the production business, and use them to purchase a sample pack company that was already profitable. It was called Woodshed Audio. Later, we rebranded it to Make Pop Music. This meant we weren't starting from scratch. We didn't have to build a second business with no momentum. We just plugged into something that was already working. And by this point, I'd already learned how to run a business from building the production company, which made me a better operator the second time around. Now, you may not have the opportunity to do exactly what we did, but the lesson here is this. Focus on making your first income stream strong and profitable. Then use the resources you've gained, money, people, experience, from that business to build the next one. One of my coaching clients, Fred, recently did this too. He already had a pretty solid beat selling business, but he wanted to scale to $10,000 per month. So we just added a production services business on top of that. And the extra income stream pushed him over the line to hit his goal. He already has people that like his beats. Some of them wanted to spend more money with him. Pretty easy. This first strategy is called leverage. You're leveraging one income stream to build the next one. And strategy 2 will allow you to multiply that even farther. Back in the day, sawmills had a big problem. They would cut logs into lumber, but that process created a ton of sawdust just sitting there being wasted. Then someone figured out that instead of just throwing away the sawdust, they could sell it to make particle board, paper, and fuel. They took something they were already creating for free and turned it into profit. And many music producers have exactly the same opportunity. For example, I only count it as multiple income streams if each thing requires a completely different way to promote, sell, and manage it. So if you're already producing songs for clients, you're sitting on sawdust. You could offer additional services from mixing to artist development because the work is naturally connected. Or if you're a producer that is working for clients remotely online, you could expand by opening a studio for local clients because for the most part, it's the same business model. If you're already making YouTube videos to promote yourself as a producer, turning on ad revenue is an easy way to get paid twice for the same work. You were already going to make the video anyway. This strategy is all about monetizing what you're already doing instead of constantly chasing something new. Which leads me to the next strategy. And most producers completely overlook this one because it's almost too obvious. Typically, when producers think about multiple income streams, they often focus solely on music. But if you look at the wealthiest producers in the world, they invest their money outside of music. Like Ryan Tedder, for example. He built his career as a songwriter and producer working with some of the biggest artists in the world. Over time, he took some of the money he earned from music and invested it into things outside of the music industry, like beverage companies and real estate. Those investments expanded his wealth beyond music, while his production career continues to thrive. Now, I'm not saying you're going to hit a huge home run investing in companies like that, but even on a smaller scale, the same strategy can set you up for long-term financial stability. Just look at something simple like a basic retirement account. Now, this isn't investment advice, but just to put things in perspective, if you're 25 years old right now and you invest just $150 a month into a retirement account, you could retire with $1 million in the bank without doing anything else. This is actually the strategy I use to build multiple income streams. Dark Label is a high profit business, so I focus all of my efforts on just making Dark Label as great as it can be. Then I take some of the profits and I put them into common investments that have a track record of growth and aren't super high risk. I call this strategy invest what you earn. Now, understanding the right way to approach building multiple income streams is only one piece of the puzzle. Because the real question is, how do you build a sustainable music production career in the first place? If you want this to be your full-time job and not just a side hustle, watch this next video where I break down exactly how to do it.